Welcome back to the 9 News Business Buzz. I'm Ryan Frazier, 9 News business expert. We just talked about the crushing cost of doing business in Colorado, but there may be some help on the horizon. The U.S. Small Business Administration is rolling out aggressive new capital initiatives to help small employers expand, to build their supply chains and train a skilled workforce, including new $10 million loan limits and 90% loan guarantees. Joining me to explain how local businesses can access this money is Justin Everett, Rocky Mountain Regional Administrator for the SBA. Justin, thanks for coming back on the program.
Thanks for having me on, Ryan.
All right. Now, Justin, the SBA just rolled out massive 90% loan guarantees for critical sectors like energy and manufacturing, and you've doubled the loan stacking limit to $10 million for those small businesses that pursue 7A or 504. In a high interest rate environment, how exactly do these guarantees unlock capital for Colorado businesses trying to expand?
Yeah, absolutely. The 90% loan guarantee, so how the lending works is you actually go through your lender, but they can get an SBA guarantee up to 90%. So it minimizes risk, that allows for better terms, more flexible terms, possibly better interest rates. So the access to capital, which is actually pretty cheap, and so we're looking at just in 2025 under the Trump administration is record loans. So the people are accessing this capital even before we did the 90% guarantee. The loan stacking, SBA loans have traditionally been capped at $5 million. So if you do a 7A loan and stack it on top of a 504, and there's a lot of different options and why you use both, you can do that cap at 10 million. And as we're looking to onshoring things here in the United States and making things in America, as President Trump has wanted to do, 5 million wasn't enough. If you're going to buy equipment, 5 million cap was pretty low. So it's really beneficial for businesses. If they look, talk to their local lender, go to the SBA website. There's many ways to find out more about these loan programs, but we wanted to access capital. It's one of the pain points we had heard traveling around the country right away on, okay, great, if you want us to onshore things from overseas, then we need the capital to be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, and 90% loan guarantee is pretty significant. But for a minute, help folks understand how this loan stacking process works if you're a small business owner. Some folks may not understand what that means, how it works.
Yeah, so we do have different loan programs. So, traditionally the 7A, which is sort of our flagship program that most people use for many different purposes. And you can look on the website for all the different things you can do the 7A for. Again, you can use that for equipment, but it wasn't enough. Mm-hmm. So what we heard from businesses, like, okay, we'd love to use the SBA programs, but they aren't significant enough for what we're looking to do if we're looking at a major expansion. So instead of just having the 5 million cap, stacking it and having two different loans, and you're thinking, well, this access capital is actually pretty cheap capital with good terms, then you can actually have another 5 million of infusion of capital coming in to help you do what you need to do. And some of this can be used, if it's a mark loan, for example, you can use that for, revolving credit, revolving capital, and so many different uses of what you can do. So it's something that gives you a lot more flexibility for small businesses instead of your rigidity that you deal with in the federal government. And this is definitely our grassroots approach is what we've been doing for the last year, is listening to businesses and what are your pain points, what do we need to do better, and this was something that was a result.
Yeah, I love this idea of being able to stack, the 7A for things like working capital and expanding your business, and the 504 for equipment, and increasing that limit to 10 million is a big deal. I want to shift to workforce, Justin, because we hear constantly that businesses simply cannot find the skilled labor. The SBA just deployed 50 million in grants to technical schools. How is this money going to significantly help small businesses in manufacturing here in the metro area or in the Western Slope actually staff their factory floors?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this has been an issue from when I served in the legislature 10 years ago, is skilled workforce. And so, with constrained budgets and having programs being able to address the needs, let's say welding academies or, manufacturing processes, which are now becoming almost like computer science degrees, because you need to be able to program the machines. The resources haven't been there. So the 50 million infusion is going to help like community colleges and tech colleges and people that are already set up that can teach and provide those services. A lot of businesses have also been able to access the capital to create their own type of programs, but this is going to unlock that all across the nation. And that was, again, one of the main pain points. It's like, great, so you want us to make things in the United States, but we don't have the skilled, no one knows how to make things anymore. So, the training learning curve is pretty steep. But, a lot of these programs you're looking at a 6-week program, you can get a high-paying job that, I mean, it's not permanent employment, but you're going to be very marketable. So if you're looking to change careers, for example, hey,
Yeah.
here's something you can do,
Yeah.
and then obviously benefiting the businesses here in Colorado.
Well, you guys have so many great things going on that you're looking to do to help small business. I want to talk real quickly about what you're doing out of Buena Vista with your supply chain initiatives. Can you kind of recap real quickly, Justin, kind of what you guys are doing? That's an actual example of some of the initiatives you all are rolling out.
So we don't promote companies, but there's a company out of Buena Vista, and you can put in the comments of whether we pronounce that right or not. So we need the algorithm to engage. But we found a business in Buena Vista that manufactures homes, and you're thinking that manufactured homes, they're ugly or whatever. They're actually doing high quality things. And for domestically, move-in time can be as short as 30 days. So as we're looking at increasing inventory and lowering costs for all Americans and all Coloradans, this is a quick fix. So we're looking at best practices and what we can do to lower costs and provide that workforce development housing.
In the last 15 or so seconds we have, Justin, what's one thing businesses can do today to get in line for these capital programs, loan programs, or the stacking of the extensions?
Talk to the lender that you already have a relationship with. Go to SBA.gov to find out more information. And we're also opening up a new lender portal that you'll be able to access 24/7, 365 to put in your information and find lenders that best suit your needs and what you need.
All righty. Well, when the cost of doing business is this high, access to capital and skilled labor isn't just a luxury, it's survival. Justin Everett with the Small Business Administration, thanks so much for joining us again on the program. For the 9 News Business Buzz, I'm Ryan Frazier. See you next time.